Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be SloppyNuts versus Bill here on Site Delta for Mid-Rank Madness. This replay was sent to not Mid-Rank Madness, just to SniperMonkey with the subject of Mid-Rank Madness. It's a gold level replay. On the top left, it's going to be SloppyNuts. He is our red Terran player. And the bottom right, it's going to be Bill. Extractor tricking to get 15 out of 14 supply here on Site Delta, a current ladder map. Making 2 overlords at this point. I don't know if this is actually a build, Bill. Welcome back, by the way. I've cast a couple of your games. So yeah, this overlord is fine. So 16 supply allows you to get your hatch down before 1 minute if you extractor trick. And there we go. There's the other overlord. So 30 supply out of 16 here. You don't need the extra supply. But, I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to worry about it. Those could have been 2 more drones. And an earlier spawning pool. And an earlier hatch as well. So, So, overlords. Scouting for proxies. No proxies here from SloppyNuts. Got a barracks coming up, and based on this rally point, it's going to be a Reaper? Nope, it's going to be a Marine, right? Not rallied across the map. Just, oh, so no Reaper. Okay, there we go. And then I was going to say no Marine, but factory first. Factory first, into a Marine, hard walling, safe from lings. And yeah, spawning pool not done. SCV scouting. He will see the hatch first and say, okay, I am safe from Zerglings. Maybe I can expand myself. Whoa, look at this. Look at the Shift Q command. Ka-chunk. 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 Yes, this is fun. And then back outside, and then back inside for some reason. Okay, Mr. Sloppy, I see you. Oh, 4 lings on the way. And yeah, canceling that scouting pattern. Oh my gosh, I think this SCV is dead. Never. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not indeed. Metabolic boost on the way. We've got a starport finishing up here, and then a command center. So it's a 1-1-1 opening, which Husky used to call the Destiny Cloud Fist build. That was before the worker count started at 12. So that's how long ago that was. Third base coming up at 3 minutes or so, starting around 3 minutes. A Roach Warren is on the way here from Bill. And swapping it out for a tech lab. Is this going to be Banshee? Going to be battle cruiser. Either one is very, very good against roaches. Banshees. Your supply blocked. Your supply blocked, SloppyNuts. Yeah, right at the time. Okay, but you need your Banshee. Yeah, still supply block, but a supply depot on the way. Second gas. We've got a Baneling nest here. We've got 22 to 23 workers. SloppyNuts is ahead here on 1 base. But again, command center inside the main base here. Going to be a natural base. And yeah, man. Banshees are very, very good against roaches and against banelings. And pretty good against zerglings too. Just because, you know, all 3 of those cannot shoot up. Simply cannot shoot up. And cloak on the way as well. So we will have to see. We'll have to see what is in store here for Bill. Spore timings against Terran are basically 4:30, I would say, to like 5:30 at the latest. I'd feel comfortable doing that. All it takes is a couple times, maybe even 1 time, for a Cloak Banshee to show up and you don't have anything that can detect it, and it just starts murdering your probes and you're like, or your drones, and you're like, oh, I should probably have detection now. And yes, you should. Hellions being added in. Banshee Hellion surprisingly strong against Zerg. Because the roaches are the normal counter to Hellions, but then Banshees wreck roaches, and it's kind of like, it's a little bit tricky to deal with. I remember dealing with that on Xel'Naga Caverns back in the Wings of Liberty days when I used to 1v1 ladder. And yeah, this is an old strategy, but it definitely checks out. I mean, unless we don't use them together at all, and all we're doing is sending the Banshees out and then using Hellions for other stuff. But seriously, together they are a potent combination against Zerg. The Hellions roast up the Lings. Banelings can get target fired by the Banshees too. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's tricky. 4th base on the way from Bill, like the expansion timing, like sending a Ling out to see what's going on. What didn't get there early enough to see the Banshees. And we're at 5.5 minutes. Like I said, you really want spores by 5.5 minutes, man. And this is not happening. The good news is there's a lair, so the potential to make an Overseer is definitely within Bill's grasp. However, how long will it take him to start making an Overseer? Let's find out. Here come the Cloak Banshees, and the first death is now. All right, 5:51. Let's see how long it takes to start an Overseer. Let's see how long it takes to get a Spore down or something. Okay, but like, Bill, okay, so Spore gets started at 6 minutes, so about 9 seconds. Just kill as many drones as you can, man. But really, an Overseer would be incredible. Oh, this drone count is not good. Not healthy at all. Maybe don't stick around until the Spore finishes, though. You don't want to fight against that Spore. There you go. Nice. Getting out of there, uncloaking. 11 and 6 kills. Dude, 17 drones died there. SloppyNuts was way behind in worker count. Now only down 2, which is nice. Okay. Queen gets out of there. Doesn't actually die. Oh, man. This is rough. So, yeah, even after that, it's 28 to 27 workers. Bill made some big rounds of drones there and kind of forgot about detection for a minute and set him back big time. Yeah, what's also good is if your Banshees are messing around inside the main base, sending some Hellions like into the natural base is pretty good too. Maybe into the 3rd base would be a good target. But just kind of kept everything else back home here. SloppyNuts did. Could really stand to do kind of some multi-pronged harass, especially if you're going to be a Terran player. Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way. We got ourselves a missile attack upgrade. Upgrade in production. Big fan of missile attacks if you're going for 1,000,000 roaches. Might as well give them some upgrades, is what I always say. Uncle Falcon says, get upgrades for the units you're making. Ta-da! More drones are dying, man. So here's the thing. 25 drones down in the first 7.5 minutes. It's a weird thing, right? At the highest level, any of the 4 Horsemen Zerg players could withstand this and be fine. At the lower levels, Zerg player can kind of withstand it too, just because the Terran player is probably not macroing behind this. And even after killing all of these drones, it is still more workers for the Zerg player, right? But in the middle ground, like Diamond, Masters, do not loot. Oh, God, Cloak. Oh, there's an Overseer, though. Hold on a second. They good transfuses here from Bill, too. And look at this, getting out of here without dying. 11 kills and 18 kills total. That is 29 drones killed in the first 8 minutes. Yeah, so in the middle ranges, like Diamond, Masters, right? That's where losing these drones will lose you the game. Yeah, and maybe even some GM, like high level Zerg players that aren't one of the 4 Horsemen, like maybe Solar, maybe Ragnarok, something like that. Right? Oh, this Blue Flame is so good. Those Lings are all very dead. The roaches are like, I don't know. This is weird, man. This is Marine Siege Tank Marauder Hellion. It's not mech and it's not bio. It's definitely a mixture here. Hydralisk Den on the way. Overseer, not, oh my gosh, stutter stepping out of SloppyNuts. Hot dang, this guy's doing great. He just doesn't have a 3rd base, right? I think what would really help is when all that is happening, get a 3rd base because Bill's worried about that, not really thinking about attacking you. If you had a 3rd base up here, then you maybe would be able to keep up economically, but notice that Bill's at 51 workers to 38 SCVs now, and you say, yeah, this is problematic. Muscular augments. +1 melee attack coming in as 7 Hydras get fired up from Bill. Spreading a bit of creep here. Not the best creep spread ever, but also not terrible. Command center coming up. All right, dude. Roach Hydra, pretty potent combination. Should do fairly well here. There are a lot of tanks I'd be worried about it, but there are 3 tanks. Marauders are going to trade well if they're going against the Roaches, but if the Hydras are fighting against them, the Marauders are going to struggle immensely. And despite the fact there is a Baneling nest, there are no Banelings out here from Bill. He's decided not to go for those at all. He's got the speed upgrade for the Hydras going right into the range upgrade almost immediately there. Stim isn't done yet, which I'm concerned about. Here we go. Roach Hydra. The Hellions in the front are dead. Siege tanks getting free shots from behind. That's exactly what you're worried about if you're a Zerg player. Those tanks getting shots off. Well, you can't do anything about it. No Ravagers to corrosive bile those suckers. No Mutas to try to snipe them from behind. No Lings to run around and try to get them. Yeah, this is looking okay from SloppyNuts. Like, okay, yeah, make the Hydras take the tank shots. Get the... Maybe scan and kill these tumors. Okay, there you go. He's in my head. This group comes around the backside, and okay. Well, 8 more Roaches and 7 more Hydras are on the way. 5 Marines and 4 Hellbats in production from SloppyNuts. He's making stuff back home, too. Liking it. Yeah, the tanks need to siege up a little bit closer. There we go. There we go. These Hellions, pretty okay. Gonna do all right against Hydras, but not that great. So the third base of Bill looks like it's straight up gonna die. These drones are evacing to where? I guess this base that doesn't exist yet, but they're there. Roach coming out of those eggs into the wrong place, dying to tank fire. Marauder fire problematic here too. The siege tank is out in front. And, yeah, just not very well protected there. SloppyNuts falling back a little bit. Reinforcements coming in. So, finally, a third base from SloppyNuts. There's no ICVs at it. He's not upgrading it to anything, so we're going to give him, like, a B for that. An A would be, this is an orbital, and it already has, you know, 16 workers at it. That'd be fantastic. But no! That's not the play at all, friend. All right, 56 to 43 workers. Bill continues to be ahead, despite killing 33 drones today. Army value is 82 to 49, though. Like, SloppyNuts just kind of needs to go here. I just feel like his plan needs to be to go. Man, that tumor died as soon as it came out of that queen's butt, man. That was not even close. This group stands in and dies for no reason. I guess SloppyNuts' attention was elsewhere at the moment. Dude, more tanks here. Honestly, more tanks against Roach Hydra are going to be good. Oh, have some Marines, right? Have some Marines to buffer for these tanks on some level. Don't just make 100 tanks, right? Because then a muta tech switch will ruin you. But seriously, a bunch of tanks, a bunch of Marines. Going to do pretty well here. Bill retaking the third base. This fifth base is happily mining. That's good. These guys go for a bit of a run-by in here alone and get entirely murderized. This medevac's like, oh, I'm not unloading in there. I don't want to go in there at all. And you would be not wrong to say so. Bill expanding again. Yeah, Bill's expansion timings have been pretty fantastic. And here we go. Siege up the tanks, 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 siege up the tanks. Okay, well, he didn't siege up the tanks. He put one of the tanks inside a medevac, though. That has the word up in it. If you talk about loading up into the medevac, everybody's going into the medevacs. Are you trying to doom drop, Bill? I don't want to try to fight my way across creep here. That's dumb. What if I doom drop this guy? Ooh, with Liberators too? This base might be the target. Okay, now you go with this drop, right? Look, you're pushing here. You're dropping here. I like this multi-pronged approach quite a bit. Oh, just going for the main. All right. This is great. I don't know what this Liberator Circle is for, but okay, it's a Liberator Circle, I suppose. We're going to kind of be protected by it, sort of. This is when this drop needs to go in here. Right now, SloppyNuts. There you go. Liberator shots against the Lings, not super ideal, but against the Roaches and Hydras, yes, staying outside of the circle, Bill, as well as he can. This Liberator needs to reposition. Oh, he did. He's going for... No, he F2A moved it. Get... Oh, no! Yeah, okay, well, this... What the heck happened there? It just turned into there were enough Hydras, the Liberators weren't as much of a problem. Okay, yeah. Not enough tanks to really do this, and this attack gets wiped out. Very nice. This attack, okay, we're multi-pronging here at least. Coming right up the front, but the problem is the attack of the main base got wiped. And, dude, that medevac. This could have been amazing. This really could have been incredible for SloppyNuts, but instead it is not amazing. We're trading pretty well here. Bill's lost 13,000 resources to only 9,000 for SloppyNuts, but SloppyNuts has not killed a base yet, and that's kind of one of the metrics I like to use when determining who's going to win at TVZ. Yeah, seriously, this medevac, instead of being F2'd over here for some reason, could have unloaded here, killed a bunch of these drones, and probably that hatch. Well, Bill is 100% worried about this stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's what the best Terran players recognize, is the concept of attacking in 2 places at once. And then when you figure that out, 3 places at once, and then everybody dies, right? Yeah, every Zerg dies. That's the whole play. +2 vehicle weapons coming in. Yeah, so look, Bill has not lost a hatch yet. He's lost 41 drones. Not ideal. Guess who has more workers still? Bill, 56 to 50. Despite all the drones that keep dying, he continues to have a worker advantage and an income lead here big time against our Terran player. I mean, mules exist, but this orbital command has full energy, and this one has almost full energy. I mean, at least use for scans or something. Send these SCVs to a base. Okay, double expanding. Double expanding here. SloppyNuts not floating a ton of cash, but double expanding. He needs the cash. Bill has 4,000 minerals and 100 gas in the bank, which just means he needs more extractors or more, I don't know, harvesting from extractors. This base is dead. The Blue Flame Hellions are like, okay, Lings are not our concern today. They are definitely not our concern. Despite the fact they have 1-1, the Roaches and the Hydras, and Siege Tank sieging up, scanning up that high ground. There you go. Starting to get big Siege Tank shots. And the Hydras are like, that is not what we signed up for, man. We can deal with tanks if we can hit the tanks. But if the tanks are behind a line of Marines and Marauders shelling us, that is not something we can really sustain for very long. Hive upgrade here from Bill. It was a fast lair, but of a later hive. SloppyNuts, yeah, this hybrid thing, right? 2 barracks, 3 factories. That's pretty much it. Needs to upgrade this base to a planetary ASAP. And he's got an engineering base, so that should not be too hard for him. He's got the gas for it, too. +2 vehicle weapons on the way. He did not upgrade this to a planetary ASAP. And a bit of a concave setup here from Bill. We like that quite a bit. Almost. He's trying to get into minimum attack range on the tanks, which kind of works, but also all the Roaches are dead. And trying to retreat. And retreating from siege tanks when you're a Roach and you're this close to the tank is really not going to work out most of the time. Might as well stick around and try to get as many shots as you can. Go after the most wounded siege tank. Try to kill it before you die because you're a Roach and your life is expendable. Anyway. What do we got? Creep spread. Pushing here, pushing here, pushing here, pushing here. There we go. I was going to say, these tumors are not going out, but that's okay. You know, it's a lot to worry about at this stage of the game. +3 vehicle weapons get started as soon as +2 vehicle weapons finishes. That is some impressive stuff. New base from Bill down south. Adds a planetary. Hey, SloppyNuts got there. All right, Roach Hydra Ling against planetary not being repaired means way too late on that, SloppyNuts. The reaction time just needs to be better on that repair. It doesn't have to be instantaneous, but it needs to be better than, you know, 7 or 8 seconds, which is what the problem was there for you, right? Righto babaito. All right. So yeah, if you want me to cast your mid-rank Madness game, send it in to a SniperMonkey at the email address in the description with the subject of mid-rank Madness. Make sure it's gold, platinum, or diamond, and you'll be set to go. I think we got 2 submissions over the last 2 weeks for mid-rank Madness. So if you want me to cast your game, odds are good. The odds are good and the goods are odd. What do we got here? So, tipped a new 4th base from SloppyNuts as this one died and this one died. And SloppyNuts being at 3 bases at 19 minutes is bad. He's mining out of his natural base very quickly. His 3rd base is getting muled, so it's going to mine out very quickly as well. And just look how much blue there is on the mini-map. Right? Bill's even expanding up here in the top right. This has been a macro win from Bill for the most part, I gotta say. I mean, this Roach Hydra stuff, not going to work out super well against somebody going a lot of tanks, but SloppyNuts' production capabilities were not as such to keep up where he had enough tanks to where the Roaches and Hydras were dying before they got within spitting distance, right? All right, SloppyNuts knows how to drop. He's going to kill some more drones. He's Blue Flame Hellioning over here. He's Marining up here now. All right. I mean, this is the first step, right? This is the first step, is just getting your units into multiple Zerg bases at once. They're never going to be walled off, right? So your ability to kind of walk in there and do what you want and force the Zerg to respond to you is pretty good. 53 drones have died. Guess how many workers Bill has? 58. And SloppyNuts is at 55. So despite the inhumane and huge number of drones that have died in this game compared to SCVs, which is 11, Bill's remained up on workers throughout the entire thing. He's done a fantastic job kind of balancing building drones versus building army units. He needs to send these drones to work, though, because, guys, there you go. There you go. Bill figured it out. He got there in the end. Adrenal glands coming in for the 24 lings that exist. So, hey, they'll be happy about that. +2 missile weapons, +1 ground carapace, +2 ground carapace coming in, but it's not quite done there yet. And the Marines are at 3-2. Siege tanks, okay, so better upgrades here from SloppyNuts, but Bill just has more stuff. Oh, the stutter step into this position. The upgrades are not as good for the Zerg, and that's usually a disaster, but in this situation, yep, that's it. Medevacs blown out of the sky here, and bam, that's a rage quit out of SloppyNuts. Bill gets the win in 21 minutes and 21 seconds. And that's it. Well done. What a great game from Bill there. Roach and Hydras and... Ooh, it's a Baneling. How many Banelings died? 4 Banelings died, and there was 1 here at the end of the game. So, yeah, not many Banelings, just kind of Roach Hydra. And yeah, again, this is just an economic win. He lost 53 drones, but at the end of the game, he had 61. And 14 SCVs were lost by SloppyNuts, and at the end of the game here, he had 58. So yeah, when you make 70 drones in your opponent, or 70 SCVs, and your opponent makes like 110, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough look. So GG there, Bill. This is not something I'd recommend at the 21-minute mark of a game that you're playing, at, especially a bit of a higher level, because the enemy's going to have more roaches and ravagers, or more marauders and marines and siege tanks, especially if they see how many hydras you've got. There will be closer to, 20 siege tanks in this position. You attack into it, everything dies, the Terran laughs maniacally, and then suddenly the game is reset, right? Yeah, SloppyNuts expanding again. But yeah, SloppyNuts just need to work on being in more places at once here. I do think this drop, combined with the drop at this base, would have been not game-ending, but really damaging to Bill. Just couldn't quite pull it off there. The attack at the front could have been timed better too, but again, it's a lot to ask, is what it is. So, yeah, Bill's playing well. SloppyNuts is playing well. And ka-chow. That was great. That was fantastic. And guess what? That's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Minrake Madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us.